It's Thursday, December 26th, your Boxing Day, and some active weather to talk about across the country. The rainfall story continues in parts of southern British Columbia with some snow in the mix as well. Meanwhile, for the prairies, a snowfall story is brewing. We'll tell you what you need to know about that. And a freezing rain threat is looming for parts of eastern Canada. So a lot to unpack there. First, taking a look at the west, you can see as far as British Columbia goes, the winds over the past 24 hours. Looking at our Christmas Day, they got intense and they had some power outage implications. Now, the good news is after a windy start to our Boxing Day, things will kind of ease up a little bit, which is good news. We've been dealing with some pretty ferocious winds over the past few days in this part of the country. Still some rainfall to expect throughout the remainder of this week, and it's really just going to be wave after wave. That's what we've been talking about over the last little while. There will be some momentary lulls in the action, but still an active pattern continuing. Now, also with some of the weather we've been seeing, the avalanche risk, the danger rating has been quite elevated in a number of areas. You can see it's high in the Whistler region, for some even into that extreme threshold in terms of that avalanche danger. So another factor we're keeping an eye on there. Looking at this afternoon across the region, a double-digit high for Victoria. Some showers continuing there. A very active pattern, as you can see, looking at that 7-day forecast for Vancouver. Okay, snowfall in the prairies. Let's talk about it. We can really get a sense Saskatchewan is going to be home to the lion's share of that snow, but that's going to be fanning out into parts of Manitoba as well and some parts of northern Alberta. Things kind of get going later on our Boxing Day evening in southern Saskatchewan, and then into the day tomorrow for our Friday. The snowfall story will develop. Now, we're not seeing particularly heavy snowfall rates, but as we take a look into Saturday morning, many might be getting out for a drive, and it's going to be fairly widespread, that snowfall risk. Now, with that, also looking at a chance for some breezy conditions that could be blowing snow, reducing visibility. So another element of concern there with that snowfall story. And for our Boxing Day afternoon, we could see temperatures not too bad across much of the region. There's our day tomorrow with the more widespread active weather. But the not so bad temperatures will turn a lot more chilly when we look ahead into the first few days of the new year. So enjoy the last few days of 2024 and the temperatures, because it looks like it's going to be getting colder. Eastern Canada, I mentioned we do have a freezing rain story brewing. Take a look at this. Friday, Saturday, into our Sunday, or even into our Monday, we could see a couple different areas with that freezing rain threat. So let's take a look at Atlantic Canada. Earlier on our Boxing Day, parts of the Avalon Peninsula with some snowfall, a little bit of a rain-snow mix at times, so could be a little tricky for those commuting conditions. And then into the overnight hours, there's a little bit of a freezing rain threat, and then that freezing rain threat's going to be quite stubborn for Newfoundland, kind of lingering quite a little while there. And now here's that freezing rain forecast for the rest of the week for Newfoundland. That's kind of separate from the bigger freezing rain story for eastern Canada. Temperatures in Quebec are still very cold, and that's going to be impacting southern areas in particular. For Ontario, the only area still dealing with those cooler temperatures, it's going to be eastern Ontario, communities like Ottawa. But all in all, still some decent travel conditions for our Boxing Day. We'll await the arrival of this messy storm in the next few days.